Welcome, Fiifi-Manfred today. What a day of Premier League games. What a set. The set of games Premier League game have been super. I am very interesting. In fact, on top of the English Premier League, I am very intrigued for all of the teams. Mekai, so before this set of games, here for international break, Asemba Kwani Yedi command says, league table, no, baby a Liverpool, that baby a City, that baby a Spurs, and that baby a Chelsea, that baby a Arsenal, and that only they can't afford to be dropping points. So I remember we spoke about the fact that Tottenham against City, after losing 4 games in a row, Joseph Guardiola extending the contract. What was going to happen to him? Again in this game, City Tottenham boy, Abranche friend Rodrigo Cascante and the Ballon d'Or ever betray City for fans. And obviously, it was pop and pageantry, very nice atmosphere, excellent ambience. The Etihad Sports Stadium won them. But what they didn't realize, what City Foreigner did not realize, and they say when they went on to play inside game, Tottenham had planned something that was very difficult. That would have been very difficult for them to deal with. You better game the tactical analysis team into stick and say, "One subscribe here, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification. Make sure say notification turn on to all." Of course, Enzo Maresca and then the Chelsea side went away to the King Power Stadium. There was a tactical display, excellent one. Just one thing, and Enzo Maresca, Emmanuel winning sad game, against team and friend Leicester City. Real analysis team about. We'll talk about Nicholas Jackson and how good he seems to be. The biomechanics of a very good center forward, the ball control, the aggressiveness, the intensity to win duels, and then of course that deft touch. And in that finish, you better even come on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, and obviously, of course, Arsenal also. Let us start with Man City, who are the champions of the English Premier League. How they give you the best consistency back to back. Big one, of course, make a sure. Before this one, Pep Guardiola signed a contract extension of Manchester City, and the conversation was that Pep say, 4 games in a row we were losing. He wanted to rewrite that conversation. Until say we lose 4 matches in a row, something that had not really happened before. So he wanted that chance. Again, we had done the analysis about why Pep wanted to stay there. Why when it comes to the squad overall, City for best person before the new sporting director from Sporting CP will take over. All of those conversations we spoke about. But a big one, and he said, Na City game on Bible against Spurs. Spurs are a difficult side, a side that makes it always difficult for Joseph Guardiola to play against him, a side that always find ways to score goals against Joseph Guardiola team. It was going to be a tough one. How were Manchester City going to summon confidence and then get a win, in this game against Tottenham Hotspur? But one thing is simple: Ange Postecoglou, Otayen Yomebi, Debia Soya. Nothing go focus. I know you're too overconfident. And then I've been highlighting, sir. And it's not Debia Unquandi, Bona Boy Chonum. See, the overzealous, overconfident nature and then the boldness of a branch here, your friend Ange Postecoglou, is what really earned them that 5-0. In terms of the pressing on and off the ball, that is what Tottenham Hotspur did. They press City aggressively. They match their numbers in build-up. Say City for the 4 players and build up. Tottenham for the 4, and they'll be aggressive at it. On the 6 never build up. On the 6 never, they'll be aggressive at it. And that's, for me, is really what changed the game. Ocean, first go now. I born a share from a branch here, your friend, James Madison. It was they pressing Madison and a really sad ball, obviously, in that area. Then Son, a ball shot, and of course, it was very important. Josko Vadio, Elusu Sabon in that area. Ocean, in this image, I'm a chair. Tottenham for air pressing 5-6 different players of City in that zone in build-up. That's exactly what team your friend Manchester City and Tottenham to try and win the ball over, transit the ball, play forward, and then dictate the pace of the game. I think it was brilliant stuff from team your friend Tottenham Hotspur in that regard, and they did it exactly well. But then kudos to our branch your friend Dejan Kulusevski. For a lot of the people, most of the times we're bought as a winger, but essentially Dejan ain't a winger. He plays more as a CM. This season we're bought more as a CM than a winger. But then the dribbling, the ball carrying, the close control in tight spaces was so important to some goal now Branty friend Pedro Porro share how he was able to carry it to find Sang Heung-min, and then Sang Heung-min of course final on one beam Dejan Kulusevski follow through with a run cuts back. Of course, Domenico Solanke and Timon shots now, and I bought a told my Branty friend Pedro Porro, who did slam home, and then of course City Forum were able to get the job done in that regard. But even apart from that, look at the kind of display. Also, Ange Postecoglou really tactically, I think he was on top, especially in the first half. So, you saw Branty friend Dejan Kulusevski pinning the far side, the overloading of the far side of Baby and Kyle Walker. The news said their defensive strategies with the Domenico Solanke running into the half space, meaning Josko Guardiola caught between a 2v1 situation, similar to the scenario here with Brighton versus Walker. A simple long whack of the ball shattered the high line of team and friend Manchester City. They ran Solanke in 1v1 and a Mabibia, a very, very good one. Long ball into the far side. Then you have the line Kulusevski, then having Domenico Solanke all in a 2v1 situation. Then Highline is in trouble. On the far side, Sang Heung-min doing same to pin Branty friend Walker. Then having Branty friend James Maddison running in between the two centre backs was very, very important in tearing team my friend Manchester City back line apart. Obviously, Tottenham 5-star performance 5-0 away at Etihad against Pep Guardiola Manchester City team, a team that has been very, very resolute this season. But of course, before that, it was Chelsea and a call away, a Kokobo in that game, huge one against team your friend Leicester City. And I did say earlier on, so one thing that Chelsea did, and they did exquisitely well, was the use of the floating number 10. Now, make sure this season Enzo Maresca can use here. In terms of say all into games, no one use a floating number 10. Usually, what Enzo Maresca has done was that because of a lot of positional playing team, and up two players on the as two number 10s. Because of positional play, Enzo Maresca penioma miensa up the width, up the central congestion, and also up the half space occupation. And I'll explain that for you. Usually, or you see the width in Noni Madueke, any other winger, it can be Modric, it can be any other winger on the far side. Now, if you will use number 10s, no, Kopama either on the right half space or on the left half space. In recent times, no, but Malo Gusto rather on the right half space. No, about Branty friend Kopama on the left half space. Then he plays two certain DMs that were shown. So he wants the central conjunction with a box midfield, no, with Caicedo, no, Romeo Lavia. Now for some super half space occupation with Branty, the friend Cole Palmer, and Branty friend Malo Gusto in recent times. Now for you see the width, but he had never used what we call the floating number 10. And so before this set of games, a lot of journalists, no quick press conference, all bisa Enzo Maresca say, how is it that Ben Obetime use João Felix any Kopama in album? Possible and Obetime use so and I'm not saying very, very possible. He can play them together, but I don't know or share balance. He looks more at the team's balance than anything. So he will wait to see. So Obetime put it together. A team we are still balanced without the ball and with the ball and still gets the attacking balance that will go into it. Now, because Enzo Maresca knew said Leicester will sit in a mid block, they will congest the middle of the park in team. The formation was a 3-1-6, and now say you can call it a 3-1-5-1 formation. Very, very fluid. Now your Moise Caicedo the three center backs on any Branty friend Wesley Fofana. There was the Levi Cole, there was Benoit Bellachile making it a back three. Then you had Branty friend Moise Caicedo right in front of them. Now flanking him, about in the two house spaces, about Branty, your friend Cole Palmer as the number 10 in the right hand space, and about João Felix as the number 10 in the left hand space. And you see Branty, your friend Marco Correa as the width holder. So on the left, Marco Correa on the right, Branty, your friend Branty, your friend Noni Madueke. Then the floating number 10. And then the floating number 10 of Chelsea was the player that got the best, that created the best chances, that won the man of the match essentially. In fact, Chelsea team, the floating number 10 was a Branty friend Enzo Fernandez, and Nejuma essentially was to be a +1 in almost every zone. Interior Enzo Fernandez, and they say set born ever in build up. The floating number 10 can help Caicedo in build up. So born echo be a right hand side. No more here +1 and also so winning the numerical superiority. Abante Enzo Fernandez will pop up there. So born echo on the left hand side. Now say Leicester Fono were trying to push up in that area. Enzo Fernandez will use his nimble footed, the dribbling ability, the close control to combine playing in the wide areas. And then of course, so almost push up top, and then they want some creativity and they want also a box crashing ability. Abante Enzo Fernandez was able to do that. It is the reason why. So Chelsea first goal against team and friend Leicester City. Bono, born along. Herman sent a ball long to Abrantia friend Benoit Belachile. Benoit Eclair, it fell to Abrantia friend Nicholas Jackson. But then closest to him was none of the other regular things. That is Cole Palmer and Abrantia friend Jean Felix. It was Abrantia friend Enzo Fernandez because he is more floating. Depends on the game state, and that's where the positions is going to take. Almost everybody had a rigid, specific positional plays that you are supposed to be every zone for them, because that's essential about positional play. But for Enzo Fernandez, he was given more of a floating role, more of a free roaming role on the field of play, and that's why he was close to Nicholas Jackson. And once Nicholas Jackson shrugged off Abrantia friend fights, the ball fell to Abrantia friend Enzo Fernandez was able to play through Nico. Nico took a touch, and then the first goal that come. And I think that was an excellent plan in how Enzo Maresca wanted to exploit Leicester for central congestion. Now, this is it. Maybe the reason why Enzo Maresca ain't used to style of play, and he said, who uses our style of play now? You need to be able to defend better with the ball. Mind you, in football, there is the ability to defend with the ball and the ability to defend without the ball. Now, if you are using the 3-1-6 or the 3-1-5-1 fluid formation, that's what pull teams apart now, or occupy house spaces. Now, still keep you waiting. Now we have a lot of central congestion. Yeah, the things that you want to have, and he said you want to make sure you are able to defend the ball. Now, defending the ball, actually said you have lots of the ball. And I think that one person was very instrumental to that, and then Juma Abrantia friend Benoit Belachile on the ball for Chelsea consistently. His passes were good. Now on Bobo consistently, not finding pass options, no Bokum, no Babonechi. Then Chelsea were recycling play consistently. Now for the ball not connection, they will come back again. They knew when to play for it, when to play for. In fact, even at the time when Leicester for Ebabe Shaw second goal from that penalty from Abrantia, your friend Jordan Ayew company, you could tell clearly that Chelsea were calm. They didn't look jittery. They didn't look bemused or worried about the game state. Leicester for me to know. They were so calm in terms of what they wanted to do with the ball, and defending with the ball. Now they become 1-7, and that was the level Abrantia friend Enzo Maresca really wanted to take his Chelsea side, and you could see it all through. And for you to be able to play 12 games this season, now lose just 2 of them, and the 2 losses have come against Man City, any team at your friend Liverpool, 2 of the top leading teams in our English Premier League. It tells you that Enzo Maresca is doing such a huge job. For me, I think that I've given my final verdict on Enzo Maresca. He is a top elite tactician, and he just doesn't have to rest on his laurels. I think Enzo Maresca will keep on moving from levels to levels, and however he wants to succeed as a coach, he's going to be super in everything that he does, because that Chelsea team and the boy, yes, Chelsea should have scored more. It's just like Arsenal for first half, but they weren't able to score more. But the thing is that someone to me share more, then you need to be able to do well in terms of defending with the ball, and that's what Chelsea did very well in this game against team and your friend Leicester City. So it means that English Premier League as it stands now, Arsenal and Chelsea are 1 point off team and friend Manchester City, and both of them are joint in number of points. Of course, Nottingham Forest losing to a drop a point. Tottenham he will come up. We're waiting to see. Brighton and Hove Albion had an excellent game in that regard. These are all games that all huge connotations. Arsenal, XNFU, also another game I need to come. Say in the past 2 seasons, Debiani say Arsenal they are coming close. They can win the English Premier League. One of the things that was clear was that by the time we entered December and November thereabout, Arsenal were either on top of the English Premier League and Arsenal were second. If you come on being 5 points in a city later, maybe book Kevin AJ League if you on 80. Obviously, going into this game, now Arsenal phone said if they can reinvent themselves, I have to start from this game against Nottingham Forest. And the truth is that not Nottingham Forest were one of the best defenses in the Premier League game away from Liverpool. And away from home, only a very resolute. They had a very good record at that. And they were coming away to the Emirates. They were tied on point. So it was always going to be difficult. a team also ball long balls to say Arsenal on ball. Your friend is saying on ball with on passing feature to Arsenal, not consistent. We just had data and the athletic Eddie Bayana consistently. This Nottingham Forest team, will play a lot of long balls. They don't really hold on to the ball so much, and it's they could hit Arsenal. Of course, with the injury of Abante friend Ben White, Abante friend William Timber came to his natural position, then went to the left-hand side, Abante friend Ricardo Calafiori, then the two centre-backs of William Saliba and Abante, the friend Gabama Kalish in the middle of the pack. Now, for the very first time in a long time this season, and even for a large part of this year, it looks as if Abante friend Mikel Arteta went into this game with a specific game plan. And what was the game plan? Game plan is a Nottingham Forest will be defended. No more aggressive, more city deep there. Then what we can do, and I say, you making sure you're more fluid. Yes, Declan was injured, not to bench on him. A bunch of friend Thomas Partey, not to bench on him. And a ball Fiifi on him. Or a bunch of friend Jorginho, Martin Odegaard, and a bunch of friend Mikel Merino. So a bunch of your friend Jorginho was the DLP, deep line playmaker, or control game with him like an orchestra. Then a bunch of friend Mikel Merino was more of the box-to-box player. Up and down, up and down. Then there was the creator-in-chief in a branch of friend Martin Odegaard. And I think that Odegaard ever gave them, you could tell say Arsenal looked very fluid. They looked very fluid. They were playing very well. They did some good stuff on and off the ball. They played really in a particular way, and then they got success in that regard. That's a very good goal from a branch of friend Bukayo Saka. Was as a result of the fact that Arsenal were able to pin your friend Nottingham Forest in their own zone. Then they recycled play. They pinned them, they sustained them with pressure. Then a bunch of friend Bukayo Saka first turn or tries to shift to his left. They forced him, they were able to shift him there. Ola Aina did a good job. Then he moves away from Ola Aina because Okita Boni in the box. No, any nimble footed in team. Most of the players didn't want to get close to him because he could have easily resolved that goal from Thomas Partey. Essentially about the exceptional technical ability of a bunch of friend Thomas Partey. So, one-time shots from the edge of the box now, it is fast becoming more or less like a trademark for Partey. And you see, in a game state, that goal was essentially because Nottingham Forest decided to consistently reduce the pressure, drop back, and then defend on the box now, instead of applying pressure. Because look at the space that was afforded a player with such a high technical ability like Thomas Partey. Excellent. He has done it several times. Last season, he did it 2 seasons ago. He did it at Atletico de Madrid. He has done it. He used to do it several times also for them. And he's able to do it again in the English Premier League. Look at that. Look at the space for Partey. And then the ball striking ability. Then picking a spot. Excellent. Thomas Partey. It's only a shame Partey into and do this more often for Ghana. I mean, not a shame for the player, for every other thing across Ghana football, but then again, excellent play from Thomas Partey, and really Arsenal look very fluid today. Hi, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Not subscribe to the channel. That's why we join the Ketson. We will see you after the Barca game. Bye bye.